Wednesday, 10th January 2024 marked a dark day in PNG's history. Our capital city of Port Moresby came under siege. In an unprecedented action, police protested their pay cuts and our national parliament was stormed, Manasupe House was breached, and the city was pillaged and burnt. Stop and Shop, Brian Bell, Dash Bash and many other business houses were ransacked and razed by opportunists, and millions of kilos worth of property was stolen by desperate and angry looters. How would we make reparations to these businesses? What a shameful and vicious act. The stand down by police should have never happened. Gunshots, sirens, fire, smoke, violence, death, chaos. This was Port Moresby yesterday as the city came to a standstill. Our citizens in the city and around the country are now living in fear, uncertain of the future, uncertain of what's going to happen next. The government has failed to address the youth bulge issue. We have failed to create opportunities for our people, and we have absolutely failed the nation. Yesterday's crisis marks a loss of confidence in the government from the police force, from the defense force, from our public servants, from the business houses, and from the people of Papua New Guinea. Yesterday's crisis must compel all members of parliament from the 22 provinces to stand together, condemn the crisis, and change this government. What has happened yesterday was an indictment on the leadership of the Prime Minister James Marape. No more blame game, no more excuses. The buck stops with the Prime Minister. All members of parliament must not sit idle and tolerate this. This is not normal. This is not acceptable. I am now putting out this urgent call to action for all members of parliament to save our country and demand the Prime Minister to resign. The people continue to suffer as this government is clueless and does not care about the people. Just look at the taxes being imposed on our people. Just look at the lack of vaccines for our newborn babies, the inequitable distribution in the budget. Our people are in a cost of living crisis caused by the economic mismanagement of Ian Lingstaki and James Marape and their nefarious tool of selective warranty. To give our people a future and a hope and prosperity and save the country, this land of 1,000 tribes, endowed with abundant resources and untapped potential, all the members of parliament must now come and stand together. As the member for CHUAVE and the Vice Minister for National Planning, and on behalf of the people of CHUAVE, Simbu and Papua New Guinea, and in the national interest, I now, on this 11th day of January 2024, resign from the Marape-led government. I have no confidence in the Prime Minister James Marape. I now call for the Treasurer Ian Lingstaki to also resign for being a liar, for mismanaging the economy, for his glib and contemptuous commentary on the economy, for being the root cause of the glitch. For this crisis and the unmitigated scale of lawlessness in the last 12 months, I now call on the Police Minister, Honourable Peter Samalili, to also resign for eroding the standards in the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary, for not improving pay and conditions for the police, for patronising the citizenry, and for being facile. It's time for you to go. And finally, and most importantly, I now unequivocally call on the Prime Minister, Honourable James Marape, do the honourable thing and resign as the Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea. Resign for being indecisive and weak, resign for allowing the economy to flop, resign for failed law and order, health and education, and resign for the country slipping into a banana republic and for this crisis happening under your watch. What happened in Port Moresby yesterday was absolutely unacceptable. It's a national security issue. This is worse than the 1997 Sandline crisis and warrants the immediate resignation of James Marape as the Prime Minister. James Marape cannot continue to run the country on an ad hoc basis under his kakistocracy and prolong the people's suffering. The time has come for James Marape to stop pretending and step aside as the Prime Minister to put the nation's interests ahead of his own. After 4 years, look at Pogara, look at unemployment, look at inflation, look at the crime rate, look at what happened yesterday. This facade must stop. James Marape must resign. The crisis is a culmination and a groundswell of the enmity from our people and public service that emanates from the total economic mismanagement. The Prime Minister, the Treasurer, the Police Minister are 100% culpable. Things will only get worse unless we stop this rot. We cannot continue under this weak, indecisive, flowery, ineffectual leadership. Enough is enough. To all members of Parliament, please ask yourselves when you look at your sons and daughters, is this the anarchy? Is this the kind of country that is fit for them? If it's not, then it's not fit for our people. For CHUAVE, the answer is no. We have to take action and take it now. Country Bluyumi.